Hey, all. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how not to be a pier runner. Now, anybody who's watched any videos on cruising probably in the last couple of years knows what a pier runner is. Pier runner is somebody who uh, doesn't get back to the ship on time.
Last minute, Lucy.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I mean, think about, the last couple of months. I don't think a week's gone by where I haven't seen a video on YouTube about a couple or a family literally running down the half-mile long pier as the ship pulls away. So, how do we not miss the ship?
Keep your eyes open.
True.
Be aware of your ship's all aboard time and what time the cruise ship is leaving from the cruise port. And you can do this by checking your daily planner a lot of times. Secondly, look at the sign on the gangway as you depart the ship.
Yeah.
They'll tell you to be back on board at blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah.
1:32.
There's always
Tomorrow.
posted signs. It's in the planner. It's posted by the gangway. Ask any, what do we call the people that work there? Staff members. They'll tell you what time we have to be back.
Amazing is what we call them.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Next up is knowing what the ship time is. So ship time is not always local time. Ship time is also not always the port of embarkation time. Ship time, the ship will change the time when it feels when it wants to, basically. But they tried it to only make one or two time changes throughout the entire cruise instead of, because you might go through 5 different time zones on your cruise, depending upon where you're cruising. So they tried to keep the ship time more steady, so that it's easier for people to get on a schedule. So, quick little tip for making sure that you're on ship time. What I usually do is I've got a $10 Timex watch that I basically only use for cruises. Now it's a wind up, or not a wind up. It's battery operated, but it's not a smart watch. It's not connected to my phone or anything like that. When I get on board, I set it to the ship's time. Anytime they change it, they tell us there's going to be a time change to the ship's time. I change that. That way, that I know that one's always set to ship time, so I know what time to be back.
Book a cruise line excursion. There's one pretty easy solution, and that's the idea. Booking a cruise line ship excursion does cost a little more, but they have a guarantee that the ship will wait for you if your excursion is running late, i.e., if there's an accident, if you get a flat tire, whatever the case may be, they will wait for you.
Yeah, that excursion company is aware that if they bring you back late to the ship, they're no longer going to be welcome to work with that cruise line. So it's in their best interest as well as yours to get you back in time. Now, when you're planning, if you want to plan your own excursion, exercise some caution here. When a ship-sponsored excursion is going to be like the last cruise we were on, they were on one of the excursions was like a 2-hour bus ride away. On the way back, they got a flat tire. The bus got a flat tire. They had to wait like an hour for the next bus to come and take the people and bring them back to the ship. So the ship waited because they were, a bus load, literally 50 people. Now, if that happens to you and you do your own excursion, yeah, the ship ain't waiting. So if you're going to do your own excursion, make sure A, it's with a reputable company, and B, that you leave enough time to get back to the ship, which leads to the next point, which is.
But on the same side of that, on this cruise that
the same side or the opposite?
Well, on the same topic. Anywho, they changed the time that we'll be docking at one of the ports, therefore canceling one of our trips, excursions.
No, that wasn't why it was canceled.
Oh, okay. But anyway.
They will change the time you arrive and the time you leave, which if you're working with a ship-sponsored excursion, that excursion company will be notified of the change, so they will be there at the new time. Whereas if you're doing it yourself, you're responsible to let the excursion people know that you're coming in later, earlier, or whatever.
Okay. So plan to be back 2 hours before the ship sets sail.
Yeah.
If you're not on the cruise line excursion, plan your day so that you're back about 2 hours before your ship departs. at all aboard time.
That way you've got a cushion. You know, if the all aboard time is 5 p.m. and you plan on being back by 3 p.m., well, okay. If all goes well, you're right by the ship at 3 o'clock. You can walk around the port area, do some shopping, grab a drink, right back on the ship. Also, if you plan on being back at 3 o'clock and your taxi gets a flat tire or the taxi ditches you and you got to find another ride back, you'll now get back to the ship at 4 o'clock and still not be late. Anyway, I think
wiggle room. Yeah.
Kind of beat that one to death. So now that you know how to avoid being a pier runner, check out this video we did recently on port etiquette.
Yes.